minute. Good morning. Ooh. Hey, y'all. Oh, man. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, depending on where you are. Hey, everybody. Hey. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing today? Ugh. You know, sometimes. Hey. Hola, hola. Hola, hola. What y'all doing? Y'all done had your breakfast this morning? Watch some cartoons? No? Yes? Hey. Hey. I went to sleep not early, but sorry that I did not come back. So I ended up getting a phone call and was able to talk for like 5 hours, and that was pretty cool. I haven't been able to do that in a while, so it's interesting. Hey, y'all. I've been sleeping with that dang window open, and it's not a good idea because it's freezing cold outside. And I wake up blowing my nose and all of that every single time. When I close it, fine. Leave it open, no. It's gonna be real crazy. Real crazy. Anyway, good morning. I wanted to talk to y'all about something, and I don't know where this class is gonna go. I have absolutely no idea. But excuse me. We about to see. Okay? Y'all got me? We about to see what it is in just a few minutes. We ain't been in here long. But we're gonna go back to some of our old vocabulary, just one or two words, and I want y'all to think about some of the things that have happened, hey, since we've been here. Okay? Y'all got me? Huh? Hello. I know it's early. Okay. So when we get to about 7 minutes, we gonna dig into some stuff. If you're home and you're able to access your journals, please do. If you're not at home, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You hear me? But if you are at home and you can access your journals, please do. If you have journals from when you first came here and all of that, yeah, you'll need them. And we about to see if y'all took good notes and time and dated and all of that in the beginning of this. Y'all want to do that or no? Y'all open? Yes? No? Maybe so? Hello? Y'all didn't almost know me. We working on 4 years. That's so crazy. We are now working on 4 years of knowing each other. We passed the 3-year mark. It's interesting. Shabbat shalom and good morning. Good morning. Y'all open? Is y'all up? Is y'all here? Did you have your coffee this morning or your tea or your smoothie or whatever it is that gets you up and moving around? Hello. I don't know why this internet is running so slow. It is slow. Hey. I can come back later if y'all still sleepy. If y'all still sleepy, I can come back later. I'm up about to be out because I'm getting my bathroom remodeled and I got people coming in and out. Okay. Well then you don't gotta worry about it. But to those that are at home, are y'all still sleepy? Y'all want me to come back in about 2 hours? Good morning. If you're still sleepy, don't worry about it. Because this is an interactive class. You said just waking up. That's what I figured. Hey. Hey. Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay. Good morning. So, who remembers what a portent is? That's one of the first words we talked about probably in this first 6 months we was here as we started to Bible study. We talked about portents. Who remembers what a portent is? Good morning. Do y'all remember? If not, just go look up the definition. Please. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. This is the pants that Blue Island Girl sent me. And I got to be very careful walking in them, so I got to pull them up like a long dress. An omen. Okay, there we go. Something that foreshadows a coming event, a prophetic. What is that? Indication. Interesting. Thank you. A sign or a warning of something. Okay. So y'all remember when we studied this word? Anybody here remember when we were going over portents and we were talking about how God warns you prior to things happening and you should listen and blah, blah, blah. Y'all remember this? Interesting. Interesting. Well, y'all know what they're doing. Y'all remember? Okay. If you started purchasing things from Amazon or whatever else, wherever you bought, and you can look at your receipt of what you bought for your survival stuff or whatever since you've been here, whether it be seeds, can you go back and look at the date that you started that? And it could be a rough estimate, but if you can, I don't know if you bought your stuff from Amazon, Walmart, wherever it is, are you able to go back and look at the date of when you did that? I know in Amazon you can go back years and look at it. So if you went to Amazon and bought anything August of 22, December of 22, okay. 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 December 22. Okay. Excuse me. Good morning, sister. Good morning. Good morning. Anybody else? Anybody? June 22, December 22. Okay. January of 23. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. September 22. Okay. So would you say that the conversations that you and I, all of us, had can be now 3 years later considered portents? If you go back and look at the definition of what a portent is, would you say from the time that you started to buy survival things that those things were a portent? Good morning. Yes. Do you all remember the portent where a lady that y'all know said they put the circle star on the Jews right before they mass unalived millions of them and other people? They made them register to be able to leave the province or the state line or the country of where they were. Do you all remember this? Y'all remember us talking about this? Y'all do? Do y'all remember the portent about it not being safe to travel by air and not being in large crowds? Okay. So there are a lot of conversations that we had here, and we laughed and we joked and we played, but those are now very real conversations that the world is having, right? Do y'all think so? Things that we talked about in 22 and 23 and 24 are now worldwide news. Everybody's talking about it. Whether it be the layoffs, people not having jobs, the food, the water, Hitler, all of these different things. So would you consider our classes actual portents for the things that were coming later? And some of those things are very scary, are they not? I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I gotta walk very slowly in these pants. Very slowly. If I had heels on, it'd be a different deal. But because I don't, it's like walking in a wedding dress. You hear me? Okay. Sorry, y'all. So I don't want to turn the heater on. Okay. So you feel like the conversations, the classes that we had here are portents for the things that are happening right now. I've been seeing some stuff. I just didn't want to report every single thing, and I'm sure y'all seeing it too. The pilots in the month of February are now going on strike. Y'all saw that? Everybody? Because they like, y'all playing with our lives. We got families. We're not about to do that. Uh-huh. You said, and the lady talked about the star on the license. And now, they talking about taking the ebooks off of Amazon. They'll probably start to disappear from other places. Now they about to play with people's taxes. Everybody told us that we were purchasing things that weren't valuable, And now every single thing that God had us go by, whatever it was, is very, very valuable right now. Because the world is in chaos. It's a calm chaos, but the world is in chaos right now. Hey, baby. Is it not? Who remembers when we looked up the word lawlessness? Please tell me the definition of lawlessness. What's the definition of that? That was one of our other vocabulary words around the time when we first got here. You remember? Okay. What's the definition? Please tell me. A state of disorder. A state of disorder due to a disregard of the law. Do you feel like the law in the Constitution is being disregarded right now? Not restrained or controlled by law, unruly. Would you say that's what's happening in our government right now? Yeah. Disregarding the law and just doing whether it's legal or not. That's a complete disregard to the law. Rebellion, chaos, and lack of control. Interesting. I don't care what the law is. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. That's what's happening right now. So do you think that when God had us look up the word lawlessness and we studied that and we talked about the lawlessness that was right before the flood and what was going on and all of the research that we did on that, do y'all think that that was a portent for now? We know what a portent means. Do you think that when God had us go study that one word, that it was for now? Do y'all remember us talking about, I said a lot of these words, you're going to write them down, you're going to write the definitions down, and they're not going to make sense until later. But when you go back and you look through your journal and you look through the definitions that I ask y'all to write down or screenshot and keep in a place, if you were to go back and read all of those words now, guess what? They would almost be giving you a play-by-play of what we are experiencing right now, because every single word that God had us go look up was a token or a breadcrumb for the playlist that was about to go on. Do you believe that? Anybody? As surprising as the news is, it's not as surprising to you, is it? Do you believe that's because our classes were really portents? Our classes were warnings to the world about what the whole world was going to experience, was it not? We had people in here from all around the world, and our classes were being translated about what was getting ready to happen. I was surprised to learn about what was going to happen. What was going to happen? So now I'm not, that it's happening. Okay. Pumpkin Butt, do you remember me saying you don't gotta be scared if you prepared? Not that it's not unnerving or not that it doesn't still, you're human, but if you have taken the time to understand what is coming, it's a different feel when you see it. It's not that you don't think about it. It's not that it's not like, damn. It is. But it's different if God has already warned you, your mind, and got you semi-ready for something that has never happened, but at least you can kind of understand what's going on. You said definitely helped. Now I'm not overwhelmed and I'm able to prepare without feeling like I gotta be all over the place. Oh. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. This. Right, we are not up in arms and frantic. Exactly. Can I ask you a question? If all of these things were happening and you hadn't had God intervene the way that he did, how do you think you would be right now? He told us that the economy was going to tank very quickly, so you need to prepare while you can. Yes, not panicking, but staying ready. Okay. So do you think all the survival videos or even Thief in the Night, if you watched that recently, do you see it popping up off the page? I heard a trumpet blow this morning. My kids said it was a train, but it was so loud. Interesting. And don't waste your money on stupid stuff and get your ish. Uh-oh, Mari. Hey, nephew. If you watched Thief in the Night within the last year, do you see that 1971 movie popping up off the page? You said yes, it's absolutely popping up off the page. Distant Thunder, Mark of the Beast. But do you see it? Listen, I'm just saying. So do you think that those movies that we watched and those things that we studied, even Sweet Tooth, people was calling us crazy when we were showing this brown book to them and all the other books. And now in Japan, right now, they have been given the go-ahead to make those very beings. So 3 years ago when we were studying about it, people was calling us crazy, but now Japan is doing it. Are they not? Are they not? Japan or Tokyo, whatever it is, they just got the go-ahead to... Thank you, Miss Nicole. Y'all niece said, you know, if it just got to the public, that means they've already been doing it. The Bible says, as in the days of Noah, did he not? So do y'all think this was real when we seen it in 2022? And we have islands that we cannot go on. Islands that don't even show up on the map. Because like y'all niece said, if they're just now telling us, they've already been doing it. So was this real, what we saw? You know how we know that they've already been doing this? We talked about this in class. How do we know that they had already been doing this? Do y'all remember the class where we talked about it a lot? But there was a specific conversation we had about surgeries and this kind of thing. What did we talk about? Do y'all remember? Anybody? How we know that our doctors have already been doing this? How do we know that they've already been doing it? Prior to this, how do we know? Because they told us. Right. Miscegenation and ancient BBLs. No, no, no. Think about it. Anybody in here got a family member that had a heart surgery or a knee surgery and they used an animal part to repair it? I told y'all about the lady that had the big old tatas and they had to use cow or pig muscles to hold them up. So they implanted pig muscles in her chest to hold up. People got pig hearts, they have pig tendons to wrap around their knees. So the only way for you to be able to use that, because the human body will reject things. The pork used in my ex-in-law's heart valve. Okay. So then they've already had to do the study that this animal part can survive in the human body and it won't reject it, right or wrong. You have human bodies that reject a natural human kidney, but they won't reject a animal part. So then we know, of course, it made out of pig is crazy, right? So then have they been doing this already? Because you have to do research to make sure that the body's, both of the tissues don't start to attack themselves or whatever else and not poison the human blood or rot out the your body doesn't eat the whatever you added there, right? So that means you've already been doing this. Just like she said. But we talked about it. But now 3 years later, they're like, oh, okay, so it's getting out. We gotta. Was it crazy when God had us studying about all of the human disorders that were associated with a hybrid animal disease? But get what I'm saying. People told us that it was not valuable to look this up because these were mythological creatures. And then they gave us a show called Sweet Tooth, and now they're doing it in real life. But we got called crazy for doing the research and finding out that the DNA traits of animal-human hybrids still exist today, but they call them human genetic disorders, like cyronomelia, encyclopedia, hypertrichosis, which is the werewolf syndrome that we studied. So we were called crazy for looking into that and studying and seeing how medically those things are still showing up. The six-finger giants that the Bible says, and all of the other half fish, half human, which we have cyronomelia now, where the legs are fused together and the feet go out like flippers. They tell us it's a chromosome or some type of whatever, but we know exactly what it is, because prior to the flood, men practiced miscegenation, and guess what? They about to do it again. Well, they've already been doing it, but it's now out in the public. At the same time that we have tyrants running the world who worship the gods of this world. And just like the Bible said, they out of their mind. We studied about the leaders that wanted to eliminate the lower class, the people of God, whatever it was. We did in-depth study about all of the leaders, the Assyrian leaders and this leader, the Roman leaders. We did a lot of extensive study about that, did we not? And how cruel they were to the people of God and different people that they had rule over. Did we not study that stuff? How they took away the rights of the people, and Pharaoh and others, their hearts were hard. They were doing all kind of horrible stuff to the people. And God said, don't worry about it. I'm going to do something. Do you feel like that spirit is back right now? In leadership, not just in America, all around the world. Do you? We got Nephilim hybrid right in front of our faces. Okay. So all of the things that we studied in 22 and 23 and 24 that most people probably thought was super random, they were actually portents for years later. Because the rights that are being stripped away from people, the travel, everything, y'all, God told us. So those just weren't classes. They were literally portents, warnings about what was coming. And we laughed and we joked and we sang and we cried. But in all reality, they were warnings. And a lot of people didn't heed the warning. They didn't take into consideration the portents, because maybe you weren't an ordained minister, or maybe you don't really act like you was, a Christian, but you was still telling them, and they felt like because you weren't in the church or wherever, you weren't whoever, that they shouldn't listen to you. But I guarantee you this: if God can use a donkey, he can use every last one of y'all and me to warn people about what he says is coming. Do you feel like when you try to encourage your family, your friends, whoever it is, the people on your social media, to prepare for a different type of life, and you put those videos out there about World War II or whatever videos that you put out and information that you put out, do you feel like God was using you to sow portents and warnings into people's life? Do you feel like that? Interesting. Do you? You do? Okay. It's all right, but I'm just asking, I didn't say that they all listened. I just said that God used you to warn them about now. How many times could you all have gone on a trip or blew some crazy money and you didn't, but those same family members, they did? They went on and did whatever it was. Do you realize that you were building your ark? They've been telling us in our face what they do because they have us dissecting pigs in high school for scientific and biology class. Yes, they do. Did they not? Did they stop partying? Did they stop turning up? Did they start working on themselves? I could have spent thousands on my dream trip, but chose food instead. I have family still trying to Jamaica. Okay. Nope, they still partying. So do you see the days of Noah coming to pass? They didn't wake up until the rain came. You said, no, my auntie had a party last weekend. They did not wake up and start worrying until the rain came, right or wrong, until the water showed up. That is when they started to panic, when the water came up out of the ground and when it started to rain. Yes or no? They was partying when it started raining. He said it's going to rain down what? So if the exact same thing is going to happen, but it's going to be fire, that means that the 7 geysers that opened up and shot the water up before the water came down are going to be replaced with fire out of the earth. What do we call that? What is that called? It's going to be lava. So if every single thing is going to happen the way that it did back then, that means that molten lava will be shooting out of the earth and raining down on people. Not only that, there could be nuclear things which would make fire rain down as well, right or wrong. Missiles. Is that not fire raining down on the ground? So if you have, what do they use to activate volcanoes? Tell me. Fire and brimstone, sulfur. Anybody know? One of the things that they've tried, should I say, particle colliders, nuclear science, natural disasters, right? But back in the day, they would put heavy explosives down in the plates of the volcano, like down in the volcano, right? And cause an erupt, like an explosion that would help the plates move and get whatever gases or whatever else it is that they needed going. These are things that they've done as well. Nuclear explode, exactly. Okay, right. So if nuclear science is how they get these things to erupt, and we could be going into nuclear war, what does that mean? For the continents, what does that mean? And right. The Earth's core is immense heat, and I think that's going to heat up the Earth. Okay. But if they start using nuclear bombs and things like that and missiles to impact the ground, and it is nuclear chemicals that are going hundreds or thousands of feet down, I don't know how all the, but it can make whole craters. What do you think that's going to do? Right, 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 right. Exactly. How many volcanoes are there around the world? Just the ones they tell us about, because we know it's ones that are hidden under us and all kind of other stuff that they don't tell us about. Because there's underground, underwater volcanoes and all kind of stuff. But how many volcanoes do they say we have in the world, whether they're active or dormant? How many? It says about 1,500 around the world. Sorry. About 1,500. Okay. 1,350 active ones. Interesting. Interesting. So what happens if all of those start going off at one time? 500 erupt at any given moment. Interesting. What happens if all 1,500 started to erupt? What would that do for our world? No sun and toxic air. Interesting. And nuclear gases and things can cause all sorts of, if you live through it, skin conditions and things like this, like boils and burns and things like that, right? Or no? Breathing problems, like you said, you can't go outside, or the radiation could like fry your skin. Right, right, okay. Most of all, not planets with wither. Interesting. Plus insects and animals. Interesting. The world will go back to the desolate. You picked it up. You know where I was going? You picked that up, baby girl. I need you to go look at how the scientists depict the earth prior to God changing it. When Lucifer and them got kicked down here to the abyss, and it was just they couldn't land because of that. Hey, Pumpkin, I need you to go look at a picture or a little quick video, YouTube, wherever you find it. Can you please go look at that and tell me how the earth looked? Hey, Pumpkin. Hey. How did it look? What did it look like? What they show us the chaos look like. That's been Satan's goal, to undo what God did. Come on. Come on. Because every single minute that we're here, you said Pompeii is still under ash till this day. Okay. Do they give a depiction of like right after the Big Bang Theory, how it looked? I think that's what you might have to search for. Or just, what does it show? Formless and void. Interesting. Was there fire? Like tar pits? What's it look like? It looked like a bomb hit the earth. Right after the Big Bang, Earth didn't exist, as the universe was extremely hot, dense, and uniform plasma, meaning there were no planets, stars, or anything. Right. And what's on the inside of all the planets, they said? What did they say is on the inside of Earth? Hot liquid. What did they say our crust is on the inside of there? It's a what? It's being heated by what? The movie, they have a movie about Pompeii. Good Love. Yeah. Well, she just said something about it. Iron by fire. Interesting. Magma. So then, what was on the surface of the earth in the beginning? Is there another dimension built on top of us, or on the side of us, or however it works? Is it? Are there beings that are not in our dimension that can interact with us? Demons and angels, are there? They are a being from a different dimension that can materialize in our dimension. Okay. They were made out of what substance? What was they made out of? Excuse me. Ooh. Ooh. Cosmic substance is what? Y'all, it literally tells us they was made out of fire. Thank you. Didn't it say they was forged out of fire? We studied. Thank you. Right? The angels was made out of fire. Okay. When Lucifer got here, it was like fire. Right? Barack. Right. That's crazy. Thank you. It's another one coming too. Ooh. Hold on. Ooh. Shoot. So, I came in here and dusted last night, and I realized I probably should have brought this in here when I did that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I literally came in here and dusted these books last night, and now I'm in here sneezing like crazy. So, turn this back on and bring this back in here. Sorry, y'all. Ooh. That was crazy. That was real crazy. I literally came in here and dusted the shelves and dusted the books. And look, today I'm sneezing like crazy. It's these books. Some of them is old, and I think that they have, you said a relevant example to dust. Yeah, because I literally just started. I came in here and was dusting, and now it's like it's springtime in here. That's nuts. Interesting. Anyway, like I was saying, the earth, yes, it was void, but it had fire. It was fire and heat. And then God started to build on top of that, and we have proof of that because of the layers of our earth. Right or wrong? Our earth is not nothing but a big jawbreaker. Right? isn't it? If they show you the layers of the earth when they cut the earth in half like a big jawbreaker, what does it look like to you? There was fire and heat, and then in the darkness, right, God started to build the layers of the earth. There's sediment, there's this. We studied this, did we not? So taking the earth back to what it was, excuse me, when the angels first got here, before God beautified it for us, would be the fire and the molten lava and the burned, scorched earth, right? Right? It would be taking it back to how it was when Lucifer inhabited it or took possession of it. It was dark and murky. Can I ask you a question? When they used to sacrifice to the false gods and they would throw babies into the what? What would they throw them into? Their parents. What would their parents throw them into? Fire. So they would cast their babies into the fire. It said Lucifer was thrown down like what? Like lightning. And we looked up what lightning is, and it is a mix of what? We read in Enoch, lightning is a mix of what? Fire and ice or water. So God threw him down into a place that was molten with lava and all of this. Just crazy. And he flew down like fire. And he wants us to be cast into the what? Away from God's presence and in the fire. He wants us to be cast into a fire lake. You mean like he was? If the earth was molten with lava and burned and crusted over, and he was thrown down into a... Right? Hello? He wants us to be cast away from the Father into fire. Right? Into areas that smell bad. It said you can smell sulfur everywhere. There is spit and blood, just torture and screaming and hollering and all of this. He wants us to go there because he's already been, and he knows how bad it is. He's seen the earth completely just desolate. Nothing but fire and burning and darkness, like Mari said, and smoke not clean air. Ain't that how they said the earth was at first? That it was so much sulfur, like when the dinosaurs or whatever was here, that it was hard to breathe and the tar pits were everywhere, and then something happened and blah, 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 blah. Ain't this what they tell us? All the eruptions formed our land masses. Ain't that what they said? That's how Hawaii was formed and this and that, because of the all of the volcanoes are what formed the land masses that we live on, is what they told us. So then why do we believe that when Lucifer got here and it says the earth was void, that's that? And then over time, because of the volcanic ash and all of that, different plants and stuff started to grow. Yep. And Enoch, he said that there are scales to balance angels' lights, and if they uprise, they become lightning. Satan rose up and was thrown down from heaven like lightning. Exactly. Fire. Fire, fire, fire. If lightning strikes something, what happens to it? Especially the right amount of lightning. What happens? What happens to the area that's hit by lightning, or the item that's hit by lightning? What happens to it? It catches fire. Interesting. It burns it. It said that Lucifer and his homeboys was turned dark. Could that be because they cooked on the way down? It says he hurled him. They were all thrown out and they were turned dark, like they were burnt. And Lucifer wants us to burn in hellfire, does he not? He wants us to be changed forever like he was. While those meteors and meteor showers, they told us, kill the dinosaurs. No, the dinosaurs died in a flood. The dinosaurs died in a flood, babe. It was the Flintstones for real when Abraham then was here. Like your stomach do after eating a whole bag of Takis, hot and spicy, this part. Upon re-entering the atmosphere, a spaceship burns as they hurtle towards Earth too. Do you get what I'm saying, Nisipu? This is what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I mean. Like Superman. Right? Sometimes when he landed, it would be fire. They show us that. They showed us that in the I can't think of the movie we was the show we was watching, where the short people was, and then it was the wizard dude. I can't think of what it's called, but remember how he fell to Earth and it was fire all around him, and they found him and dragged him out of there. I'm having class. Are you gonna take a nap? Okay. Where's Emu? Let me see her. Hi, Emu. It's your grandma. Hey, girl. It's girl. Oh, she. What is she watching? Is that Dora? Okay, come on with it then. That part. I'll call you back. All right, bye. Sorry. Okay. So if Lucifer wants us to be treated the way that he was treated, and he wants the earth to go back to how it was, do you understand why he is the ones working through the leaders that we have now that are running to this arms race? Lucifer takes control by beguiling people, showing one face and then another. Not meaning what they say. So who do you think is running our leaders and is fueling our leaders right now? Tell me. Who's fueling the scientists that are now going to do these hybrids? Who's fueling the people over the agriculture that started to take all the food from the people and people were starving? Who remembers us studying this? The giants were taking all the food, and so there was famine. And their spirits are the evil spirits of now, right? They were taking women by force, taking men by force, doing all types of crazy mess with people, torturing people. And those are the spirits that are trapped here on this planet and don't get to go nowhere. Who do you think is running all of these leaders that are doing the very same things that the giants and the fallen angels and the evil people of the world were right before God flooded it with water? Do y'all agree with me that they're trapped here? They are the evil spirits, the people that wanted the earth destroyed the first time, the people that took everything from everybody and was just doing whatever they wanted to. They were building these oases everywhere, conquering people's lands, putting people into slavery, starving people, all sorts of child endangerment and abuse, and they hid it all behind "I'm the leader." Did they not? Okay. Do y'all remember us having a class? Excuse me. Do y'all remember us having a class where I told y'all in 2016, gold became more valuable than oil, or oil became more valuable than gold, whichever one it was. I said, but that only, I think it was gold became more valuable than oil, whatever it was. Anyway, that only happens right before a really bad depression. Do y'all remember us having this conversation? It could be 5 years, it could be 10. But either oil being more, whichever one it was, I can't remember. What's going on right now? What's going on? Are we going into we are in a depression. It's not a recession. We are in a depression, are we not? Y'all remember us talking about the blue boxes? And we went and we looked up the government aid and all of that, and we talked about how this time around it wasn't going to be no food stamps. They wasn't going to be giving out all these extra benefits because they didn't have no money for real. Y'all remember us having this conversation? Yeah. What services are they cutting right now? They're cutting medical services. They're cutting VA benefit. They're cutting everything. They're even not even allowing people to volunteer at places for free. They're not even allowing them to volunteer at the VA hospitals for free. Did we talk about a lot of people dying off because they don't have medical care? Or adequate food, access to adequate food, or adequate water, or whatever else it is? Like, did we talk about that? Did we talk about these pantries not having because there wasn't going to be anything to put in them because of the conditions of what is going on in our government right now? We talked about you not depending on the government because they're not going to do nothing. They're not going to come. Did that pop up off the page with Florida and Tennessee and the Carolinas? Our food pantry is now giving out government issue food. We got government issue pulled pork the other day. Oh, baby girl, did we talk about it? We talked about that in October of 22. I think it was October 6th or October 11th. We talked about that. We talked about the blue boxes. What's being received is a blue box right now. And blue boxes come out right before war. We talked about them cutting the benefits to pay for the war. Remember, we talked about World War II, how people were starving, how they might not see sugar for 6 months. All the men were gone, women had to go working in different places and all of that. We studied this. And go watch the Great Depression. Do you see it happening? To those of you that went and watched about the Great Depression, do you see it? Do you see how people that are used to being the top would unalive themselves because they have to be with the regular people? They're not able to live their glamorous life. Who could y'all see all of the people? Y'all see it? Because the market can crash and this and that, the world market, and boom, they're nobody as of tomorrow. Whatever wealth they have, they won't have it. Rations, get your rations. Listen, get in the line before all of it they are gone. I'm trying to tell you. Again, for the people that might not have been here, what is a portent? What's the definition of portent? Portent. You said they're even cutting people off the organ donor list. That's gonna be a mess. Just thinking about how it looks only on soy and green. I still haven't seen that. I still haven't seen it. Warnings and signs. What's the other definition? A pre-warning sign for what is to come. Thank you. So I'm going to ask y'all again. Do y'all feel like something that foreshadows a coming event? Interesting. Okay. Ooh, a sign or warning that something, especially something momentous and calamitous is likely to happen. Interesting. Momentous, interesting. Like river bed, like life shattering, like life altering. I need y'all, when you get time, if you did write down definitions, when I asked y'all to go look up the words, I know we would look up a lot of them, but the words that I asked y'all to write down, if you wrote them down on pieces of paper or whatever, I need you to gather them and look at them and see what story they tell about what's happening right now. Okay? You hear me? All your definitions are for now. I don't care if it's all the way back to words we was looking up in Enoch, wherever we, and I know you got your own. But the definitions that when we started in 22, 23, 24, they gonna mean a lot right now. Whatever it was that we studied, it's gonna have to do with what's happening now. I've been looking at the stuff about the temple, and it's crazy because what I just keep hearing in my spirit is like, when that blood is shed from those cows, that's when the bloodshed on the earth is really going to be amped up. The fact that they deleted all of the bad cops business out of the thing, y'all saw that? What bad cops? What bad behavior? Trump had them delete all of it. Did y'all know? And they did it. Hello? Did y'all know that? And you about to get these police immunity? Immunity? What? Is it looking like Nazi Germany to you? Okay. He's dismantling the civil rights part of our government. And then right after, he starts to dismantle the civil rights part. The civil servants that weren't civil have had their slates wiped completely clean. That you won't be able to sue for civil rights abuse, for a person infringing on your civil rights. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's why they're throwing up the signs, exactly. He's possessed with the same spirit that Hitler had. Did we talk about it, baby girl? And people told us we shouldn't be talking about that. Do you remember? I said he's going to follow the exact same pattern that Hitler did. I need y'all to go watch these videos. I need y'all, if you haven't, I need you to go watch them. I need you to go watch them. So when you see it, you will know it. What y'all see right now. Was that a portent for what was coming in 2025? Another instance of, here we go. All right. But do you see it? So going and watching the videos, remember I told y'all, I said, yeah, it's TV time, but this is research. It's research so that you can understand what's about to happen. You cannot not see it now. The whole world sees it now. Did we see it 3 years ago? Did God tell us 3 years ago that we was going to be living in lightweight Nazi Germany in just a few years? We talked about going into camps. We talked about hiding out. We talked about all of this stuff, did we not? God was warning us. Period. So our classes weren't just classes. Our classes were portents for what was coming in the coming months, years, days. And to watch Little House on the Prairie. I still ain't made me no bread. I have not made any sourdough. Maybe I'll do that today. I just can't keep up with the stuff though. My plants didn't die. I said, oh God, I'm not a plant mom. The heck? It's the most expensive plant I ever bought in my life, and it is gone. That's why they keep bothering us, because we had a handbook. Now you see why they put me on the list. Do you believe I'm on the list now, sister? Do you believe it? Y'all thought I was paranoid in the beginning. I said, ain't none of this good what they doing out here. These people done been in my crib. I still don't know what's going on, you know. Because it's weird. But we just gonna move on. We gonna move on. And this is why people are like, I should not go nowhere. I should stay right in my house. That's where I should do. Mm-hmm. We also talked about the people showing up at influencers' houses, and this is why I used to say whatever. And what they doing now, they arresting them. For speaking against Elon Musk. I believe it. I had a dream they had a thick book and was having a meeting. Wait a minute, hold on. And was having a meeting, and the book had your name on it. This was over a year ago. Why you didn't tell me about it? That be the stuff I be needing to know from y'all. Remember I told you? It's in my messages. Okay, I'm going to have to go look for it. I'm sorry. See? Remember I told you, I said God used to always send dreams about what was going to happen or what was going on through my children. That. I don't know if you got it because I was sending other stuff too. Okay. Interesting. Well, it is what it is. 2018 videos of supermarkets closed surrounding the barbed wire, keep people in multiple car trains. Interesting. That everything is going down and you have to be careful of what you say to people, right? So you have to learn. Did we talk about that? Not being able to say whatever you want to say, and you're going to have to be very wise and understand who you're talking in front of. Did we talk about that, family? It's not going to be wise to post everything you're doing when you're going out of town, where you're going, where you eat, all of that. Did we talk about it? Do you think that was a portent for now? Yes, he is going by Hitler's playbook. It sure is. So I want y'all to understand two things. God loves everybody on this planet. But there are some people that just won't listen to what he says no matter who it comes from. No matter who it comes from, they won't listen. Right? But there were portents, there were warnings that went out every single day here for over 36 months. And now all of those things, us pulling together, being all around the world, y'all bringing information about what's happening in your country or your state or your city or your town or your province. Do you understand that God, because he wanted us to understand, would always let it pop up off the page as we was talking about it? So even if you did have some unbelief about what was going on, immediately he would allow somebody to come in class and say, no, I work in such and such, my son or daughter is this, blah, 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 blah. Can I tell you what just happened? And they wasn't even in the class. They might not have been in the first 3 hours of class. They got in on the last 3. And every single time God sent confirmation that no, these are things I need you to focus on. These are things I need you to pay attention to. Don't buy into what the world is trying to sell you. I need you to pay attention to this. Be grateful to God that he allowed you to hear. Do you hear me? Be grateful to God that he allowed you to hear. And not just hear, but hear and move. Do you hear me? Yes, I'm very grateful that the veil was lifted for each of us. Listen. He was yelling at everybody. Y'all remember what we read yesterday? Huh? Y'all remember what we read yesterday? About Moses, and God's voice was so loud and it shook the ground and all of this and that, but nobody else could hear it but him. You don't feel like that right now when you talking to your relatives and stuff? He could see and he could hear what other people could not see and or hear. Do you feel like that right now? When they listening to the news, they don't even understand how serious it is. A lot. Ooh. People who can't hear, it's like someone hearing from underwater and hearing clearly. Listen. So guess what I saw today? I did see this on TikTok, and I've seen it in the last couple of weeks. Do y'all know how many people, whether they are MAGA or not, are talking about they didn't believe it until they saw it, and now they believe it? I'm a believe it when I see it. So when I heard it, I didn't worry about it because I'll believe it when I see it. And now they're seeing it. But it's too late, is it not? We talked about not being a I'll believe it when I see it type person. And now online, I didn't seen it. Y'all learning ASL? Okay. Now people are saying I didn't believe it, and now I see it, and now it's too late, and we need to stand up now. Well, it's too late. But do you see it? You see what we talked about not being a I'll believe it when I see it type person. And if God warns you, you move even though you can't see it. He will provide it if he wants you to get it. Do you think he wanted you to get it? Do you think that all of the stuff that you were buying since you have been at WOU, do you think he wanted you to buy it? Did he provide a way for you to get it whether you had money or not? He provided a way for you to follow instructions. Did he or did he not? If you say, God, I want to start getting ready, he let people come in and give people information about where they could go get free food, double on their dollar, all sorts of things we learned here. They would come in and tell us about the community compass, and people was telling us about the OTC where you can get this and use that. He started to, in real life, my husband just told her, or my cousin husband just told her, no way. No way. So Selena said her cousin's husband the cousin just called and said, can you call your cousin and ask her like what we need to do, what we need to get? Because he just seen it on the news. Interesting. What y'all think? Huh? For real. Y'all got called crazy for being over here. Y'all got called crazy. Detroit is going through it too. I got a question. Did we talk about it flooding in places where it normally doesn't flood, and people freezing and being able to heat your home and boil water and having shovels and things like that? People believe in it now because they see it. Did we talk about buying wool socks recently just in case the power goes out and they can keep you warm and all of that? We talked about buying wool socks. We talked about having super warm blankets because those blankets will not keep you warm if there's no heat and this and that. You need some wool, but wool also keeps you dry. Those floaties we brought would have come in handy right now. Oh. And if they had an upstairs and they had the oven, right, and they couldn't leave their home, they could have still cooked. They could have still heated water. I'm sure a portable toilet would come in handy right now. What you think? Tents. Because if they had an upstairs and they had access to where they could put that oven out of the door and they had their portable shower and portable toilet, they could burn water. They could no. If they had their portable stoves or whatever else it is, if they couldn't get out of the house and they had an upstairs and the pipes hadn't busted and ruined the upstairs, would there be something? Could they make it up there in the top part of their house? The food ain't gonna go bad. It's frozen. These were portents that God gave us. Every single thing that you picked up from Amazon, from the Goodwill, wherever you got it, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, Temu, wherever, it is all for right now. The emergency light bulbs, everything, those were warnings of what was coming, and we are seeing every single bit of it pop up off the page. People cannot afford to buy food, that's famine. Or the food is no good, that's causing famine. There's not going to be any books, they're getting rid of them. So if you don't already have your own, how you going to teach your kids? And they throwing the books away and not letting people get them. But they're telling you that they're getting rid of all of the school programs in the Department of Education because they know most people don't have books in their house. They got electronics. So if you have to teach your children but you don't have no books, well, how you going to teach them? You're not going to be able to teach them much. You don't have any maps to show them anything else but what they see around them. Ain't that what we see in the dystopian movies? Yeah. The other day, when Southwest Detroit was underwater, I immediately thought about you telling us to get inflatable boats. You know when that was, sis? When I came back from Atlanta. What time was that? Right now. In a couple more days, I had about another 7 days there. Remember? It was when I got back from Atlanta that I talked about the planes, not traveling, a lot of people being sick, and floods being in places that they shouldn't, and then all of these places that normally don't flood started flooding. The portents, the warnings that even though it doesn't normally happen, and we talked about this, because it hasn't happened, or they don't know nobody that they not gonna worry about it. And the first thing they say is that can't happen here, and I said, yep, okay, so you gonna be the person on the news crying crazy because you didn't believe. Not that we just better than nobody, but I'm grateful. Now y'all see what's that? I don't care who believe it. If God tell me, that's what it is. I read chapter books to my son this way. It nourishes his imagination. He can picture it in his mind. No need for electronics. Come on. The book Fahrenheit 451 talks about this very thing. Society without books and no education system. Come on. So y'all believe these was warnings, our classes? They wasn't just classes. Who feels like all of our classes were actual warnings and a roadmap? Sorry, y'all. It's a tag or something sticking me. Yeah, that's a tag. My pantry and Goodwill still stocking my survival stuff. Good job. Do you feel like those were portents? They were warnings? They wasn't just classes. And people got on here and say, "Oh, that lady, she all over the place." Yeah, because life about to be all over the place. They better get some soon, because spring is knocking on the door. And last year, a lot of people were swimming from their floating car last year. Oh, during the thunderstorm season. Come on, Mari. I got an inflatable raft when you talked about it, and so did my daughter. Y'all. All I'm going to say is, he told us. Hey, Dad, we just want to say thank you. It is now 3 years later, and all of our random classes were not so random. Yeah, thank you. It was at Walmart today, and there was a large cans of whole chickens in the on sale. Sorry, I don't remember the price. Thank you. Whole canned chickens at Walmart is on sale. People, cars is frozen in water. Pipes exploded in the house. Chunks of ice and snow. Yeah. Thank you, Dad. We just want to say thank you. We do. We do want to say thank you for every single thing that you warned us about. No matter how crazy it sounded and we got up and moved, we want to say thank you for talking to us and thank you for opening up our ears so we can see, our ears so we could hear, our eyes so we could see. All of that. It's real, y'all. And now you see why I don't care if nobody don't believe it. I'm still gonna move. That don't have nothing to do with you. What that mean for me? Because you don't believe it. I'm not supposed to do it because you don't believe it. Yeah, that's not gonna fly over here. I don't have to move with the crowd. I'm gonna walk by myself. You said I'm right on time to catch Dad on the phone. Thank you, Dad, for everything. And then for you, Circle. Listen, I'm thankful for y'all. They are getting ready to jab chickens with the rDNA vaccine for bird flu. Interesting. How many of y'all bought some type of meat grinder? Hey, Sarah. A bread maker or some type of pans to be able to make bread. All of these things are going to be super valuable. Grains, seeds, water filtration. You learned a couple of different ways. If you got a house, I would say buy a 50-pound bag of sand. Have 50 pounds of charcoal or be able to make you some, and then get you some gravel so you can make a water filtration system in your garage if you need to, or the backyard. And big bags of sand don't be nothing but like $7, $10, my cousin said. So, because I'm thinking about getting me some too. I'm going to just make me a little something. Go get a 10-pound bag of gravel because it ain't nobody but me. A 10-pound bag of sand. And then whatever else. Yeah. Charcoal. We got to do what we got to do. So, two things. Let me run to the restroom real quick. And then I'm going to show y'all. And then we're going to do what we do. Hold on. Okay, y'all. I wanted to say, I did not forget. I was waiting for this to get here. Uh, so, this is what we will be sending out. Okay? So just send a email to Tat Not Place with your address. Y'all know how this go. If you want a 4-pound bag of pinto beans and a 10-pound bag of rice, this is what we're doing for this next giveaway. And I don't care how good it seems, this is what we're doing around here. Okay, 10 pounds of rice can go a very long way. This is a very big bag of rice. You hear me? So, you can make sweet rice, salt and pepper rice, butter rice, Spanish rice. Rice and beans will get you through a lot of stuff. So, if you want to add to your survival bucket, okay, this is something that we're going to send out. Is a 10-pound bag of rice and 10 pound, no, this is 4 pounds. So it's 14 pounds together of beans and rice, basically. But, you know, this can help. You know what I'm saying? You can make some rice pudding or whatever, you know. It'll either be pinto or black. We'll probably alternate that, but it's definitely going to be 10 pounds of rice. So that is the next thing that we are giving away. And I know it don't seem like much, but every little bit is going to be helping here in a minute. You hear me? With some smoked meat, it's a meal. And even if you don't have any, you know what I mean? We going into a time where it probably ain't going to be a lot of meat. So you going to have some other substitutes that don't need to be refrigerated, and that's one of them. Put a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and put some rice down. That's why other cultures, if you notice, they eat soup a lot. Like Africa, Asia, other places, they eat a lot of starchy foods. Like they'll take that rice and pound it into something like they do with the potatoes and stuff like that. I've been eating a lot of rice and beans anyway, so you get used to living. Yeah, right. So that could be, you can make, rice noodles. And, this is why the cookbooks are going to be important. Most basic cookbooks, how to put some jerky in it. I'm trying to tell you, boy, that canned meat up or whatever you got it like that. It's so crazy. Because, baby girl, do you remember me showing the canned pork the other day? It was probably in the last month. I said, y'all about to start seeing these. Remember we talked about the canned meat, the canned beef, the canned pork, all of that. The powdered eggs, the powdered milk, all of that stuff. We talked about it. And you telling me that they're giving it out now. I got a 10-pound bag of rice, right? Right, that's what that is. That's 10 pounds of rice and 4 pounds of pinto beans. That's what that is. I mean, you got to think about it. If you got a family, you can eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was brought up on rice and beans and one-pot meals. Yes, honey. Yes, your auntie too. Yes, I got a few canned meats. They sell at Walmart. I'm trying to tell you. This is how they survived the Depression, was it not? This is how pot pies and all that kind of stuff came in. It ain't nothing but a thick soup on the bottom with a little bit of crust on top. And that's going to have to get you going. You might have some cornbread on the side or some kind of bread to sop it up, and some water. Cakes and stuff was very basic. They wasn't all elaborate like that now. They get some fresh lemons, juice them, and make a little lemon tart or something like that. And everybody get a little piece. You understand? Dried fruits, spam. It's BOGO. I need to get me some spam too. Yep. That's so crazy. I thought about spam the other day because now they got all the garlic and herb flavors and stuff. They didn't have it. It was mayonnaise and salt and pepper. Sometimes my auntie will make barbecue spam and put it on the grill and put some barbecue sauce on it and make some mashed potatoes or something. But I didn't even know they got maple spam and everything. Jalapeno spam. I didn't even know. Yep, get you some Great Northerns over rice and use that cornbread as a spoon. I'm trying to tell you. I like spam too. Yeah, they got all kind of flavors now. I think they got like sriracha and everything. You like the maple spam? I never had it, but you got to think about it. At a time when food is scarce, everybody get a little piece of that on top of their beans. Or I mean, Asians make sushi with it, and all it's other Asian countries they use spam for everything. I like mine fried hard, almost burnt, on some mayonnaise and bread, and that's it. You ain't got to add no cheese, no lettuce. Sometimes you can do lettuce and tomato, but plain, just burnt to a crisp, sliced real thin, laid out. Baby, ooh, that's make my mouth water. Salt, pepper. I've been eating sardines, rice, and seaweed, all of that. $34 on Amazon for 12 cans, right? We hot. Listen, your mama, listen. So that's our next thing. We're sending out rice and beans. That's what we're gonna send out. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Cause, honey, 14 pounds of rice and beans will get you through there for a minute, especially if you're not wasting. You know, make you a good broth, put you a little vegetables in there, and then cook your rice and pour that over there, and it's gonna swell that rice up, and you'll be good. Season that water real good. Put your little chili oil or something on it. Because people are not preparing. They're not getting staple foods with some onions, right? Yes to the seaweed, wrap it around some sticky rice, and you good to go. Wait a minute, y'all. I've been seeing it, and I got a sticky rice thing. I never bought it, so I ain't never had sticky rice. Is it good? Because I got a sticky rice thing that I bought years ago when I was married, and I still haven't used it. So do I need to try to make me some sticky rice? Don't play with me. I've been seeing so many sticky rice recipes, too. I'm going to give me some seaweed. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. So sticky rice and seaweed. Interesting. Okay. Do you cook the sticky rice yourself or you buy it already prepped? Interesting. Okay. I've been seeing the recipes and I have the little bucket thing that I bought when I was still married. I just never, I always said I was going to get some. Spam wasabi is the thing. It hits. You can cook it yourself, honestly. Okay. If you like sushi, you already love sticky rice. I do. Also, I've already had it. Yeah, I eat sushi. Yeah, I smash some sushi. Me and my girls, my kids, we love sushi. Oh, okay, well then never mind. Okay. Spam is good to make. Poke, it's delicious. Poke weed, I don't know what poke is. Are you talking about with poke, like poke salad? Poke. Oh, it's a Hawaiian dish. Okay. Yeah, I've never had it. Well, anyway, we gonna do that. We're gonna do a 10-pound bag of rice, 4-pound bag of beans. So 14 pounds of shelf sustainable food. Okay. I mean, and we gonna move on. You hear me? But um my grandmother used to cut it and fry it and put it in beans with potatoes and white rice and fried plantains. Ooh, that sounds good too. So let me ask you a question. Has anybody dehydrated plantains to make a plantain powder for later? Or to dry them to cook them for later? Because I thought about it. Because I like plantains. And I know you can grind them up and make flour and all kind of other stuff. The breading for patties and all kind of what, you know. So have y'all been dehydrating the plantains? Because I've been doing a lot of sweet potatoes, onions, that type thing. You did? So if you dry them and then rehydrate them, can you fry them like you do when they're green or whatever? Like if you get them when they're green and dry them, if you rehydrate them, can you fry them again like the old times? Like do they already have dry ones that people get? And then soak them and refry them, or no? Will that not work? Do y'all know? Because I thought about getting some, because that's like, you know, you can make plantains like potatoes. And I used to. I might make my kids some potatoes, but I make me some plantains and mash them up and put garlic butter and all of that in there. So you can dehydrate them like bananas and then soak them. And then once they don't get soggy, but they get back, you can refry them. Cause I'll go give me some green plantains and have them dang things on the dehydrator. Anybody know? Y'all don't got no information for me. So yes, you can. Okay. Cause I know you can blend it up, and they make like one culture. I can't remember who does it, but they blend it up and they make like Jamaican beef patty powder out of it, like to make the patties. You can make bread from the plantain powder, right? Yep, I'm gonna go on and do that. So get y'all some plantains if you can. Greener the better, I'm thinking. That way it's freshest when we dehydrate it, you know? Mm-hmm. I seen them because they made like a Jamaican beef patty out of the bread. It's gonna have a dry texture after that. After though, when you refry them, that's okay. It's all right. It's okay, baby. If it's a time when there's no food, you ain't gonna care nothing about that. And you's not gonna care nothing about that. You ain't gonna care about that. You just gonna be happy to have something to eat. And I'm just thinking of different things. Because I already dehydrated my cauliflower, so I can make cauliflower soup and stuff like that. I got some spinach that I'm going to dehydrate. So if I need to make some spinach soup or something like that, I'm going to do that. Um, because that with a little bit of cornstarch and some seasoning, and you got something that tastes like something. What's Maduros? What's that? Spanish markets have them 8 for 1. Interesting. But I've been like all my vegetables that I plan on making some sun dried tomatoes too. I bought some tomatoes that are still on the vine, and I'm gonna try to make my own sun dried tomatoes. Well, dehydrated and then put them in the oil and whatever. Oh, sweet plantains. Okay, okay. So, but you see what I'm saying? Try to make like some sun dried tomatoes or dehydrated, and then put them in some olive oil and whatever else we're gonna do. Some peppers and stuff in there for later. I've been trying to tell my coworker to start preparing for what is about to come. She said, "Stop trying to follow the occult." Ooh, wait, hold on. She said, "Stop trying to follow the occult," and told me to stop fear mongering. It's sad people think it's a joke. Nevaeh, not stop following the cult. People really think we a cult. That is funny. I ain't forcing nobody to do nothing. I just be trying to make sure people gonna be cool, but whatever. The crazy people always make it, I guess. You're welcome. You did some plantain chips too. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get me some plantains today then. Yeah. Cause I have been thinking about it because like I said, I used to make them like mashed potatoes. Is how I would do it sometimes. If I didn't make them sweet over the ice cream, you know, with the brown sugar and butter and all of that, I would make them savory. So just shows most don't know what an occult is, right? She has no idea of the real fear mongering. This. Now that we know that the depression is upon us, and they giving out the blue boxes that we studied about in 2022, and our government is not going to be following the law. So God put us on to everything, and people said we were studying stuff that didn't have any purpose, or it wasn't for nothing, or whatever else it is. But as y'all can see, there's a lot of purpose. Okay, so I'm going to go call y'all niece back, and then I'll get back on here in a little bit. The coat won't be hungry. It's so sad that people will be hungry because they refuse to listen. Where Mari at? Did we talk about it? Talk about it. Talk about it. Did we talk about it? They was gonna wait until everything was already crazy to go and start trying to believe, and then try to put a guilt trip on you because you won't throw no bread out the thing. Yeah, I'm grateful that y'all listened, not to me, but to God nudging you in your spirit, saying, "Get ready." You had to have faith that you were making the right decision, and I know you see it now. There are two types of plantain plants on the screen, leafy plant, and the other is like bananas. I know. Yeah, my mother-in-law tried to guilt trip us or not take our kids anywhere. What you mean? What you mean? Because y'all was buying survival stuff? Sorry, auto typo. She made us feel bad about buying survival stuff and not taking our kids out and blowing money. She still feel the same way right now? 5 wise and 5 foolish in real life. That. Yeah. It's a scary thought that people are, they still crazy, but they don't got nothing to do with us. So again, Tatnot Place, address if you want the 14 pounds of dried goods. It'll be some rice and beans. Girl, yeah, this was the other day. They the ones planning a family reunion, trying to collect $3,000, $300 plus from everybody. No, they ain't. Girl, you know what we could do with $300? $300 go a long way right now. It don't, but it do if you buying the right stuff. Think about how much rice you could buy for $300. Beans, canned meat, flour. $300 to go do what? They see you they rather see you buying $300 sneakers for your kids than to make sure they can have a future. Listen, baby, I already know. I already know. I said them exact same words on the family chat. Just know I got all types of lifts. I believe it. How are you getting there? I hope driving, because those things is falling out the sky, baby. Crazy. I go to a bodega and get some rice, different beans, Saison, and some meat. Come on, I got some Saison in there. Dude. Yeah. Listen, this is my thing, right? People are making their decisions, family, on what they're going to do. They making a decision every day not to listen to you. And I'm just praying that God encamps angels around all of our houses. Not that I don't pray that he encamp them around our family members' houses, but I'm praying he lock our spaces up like he locked Noah up. And he can do it, because if he can do that, he can do that. And it's not saying we won't be whatever, but for a time, God, we listened, we prepared, we did what you asked us to do, and so now we are asking you to protect what we have, protect us, because we believed it. And there's still going to be miracles happening during that time. I don't know, but hopefully that counts for something, that we acted in faith. You said you keep that Saison. Come on now, and do. You hear me? So I say, um, hey, hey, I say just, you know, pat yourself on the back. Not just taking pride in whatever, but that you listened and pay attention to the portents that we got a couple years ago that are now all being fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Okay. All the portents that God gave us in 22, 23, and 24, they're being fulfilled now. They've been being fulfilled, but they really coming off the page right now, like multiples every day. So I'm gonna call my daughter back, and I'll probably see y'all in a little bit, cause it's still early. It ain't even 12, is it? No, it's 12. Okay. I love y'all. I'm proud of y'all too. I will. I love y'all. I'll be back.